Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do narrations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, so next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi. The only link left. Chapter 9. Baggage. A freaking silence fell between the girls. Dust was beginning to feel uneasy in her own skin. This didn't happen very often. It wasn't like she hadn't thought about the question. She just never been asked anything like that so directly. She also felt a strange sensation each time the pair locked eyes, and it both scared her and filled her heart with joy. It was as if they were walking past the superficial exterior and staring into each other's souls. The feeling was certainly uncomfortable, yet pleasing all the same. Sarah wanted to look away. Dust trailed off without an answer. Her heartbeat boomed in her ears, and her mind felt like spaghetti. She gazed over at the cute brunette behind the easel and saw that her focus was mainly on her creation. A soft smile officiated above her skin. From Dust's position, the front of the campus couldn't be seen. It was facing the opposite direction, so the painter could easily graze between her subject and the artwork. The room wasn't completely quiet. However, Paul continued to diligently work on her art, ruffling a paper, the apron switches of brushstrokes against the campus. An occasional word spoken under Paul's breath could be heard amongst the stillness. Finally, the artist reacted. "Come on, Destiny! You have to play the game! All I'm asking you for is honesty. It's really an easy question, silly lady. Do you like girls or boys? Or both?" With a sly smile, Paul turned her attention back to the painting. "Well, to be honest, I don't really, never, I've never been in." Paul broke her concentration, shaking her head in disappointment. Standing from her stool, she started walking towards her subject. "Been in what? A relationship?" "Yeah, that." "Destiny, please. As shocking as to hear nobody has snatched you up yet, you don't need to be with someone else to know about yourself. Take me, for example. Do you think I'm pretty?" Paul cheerfully tilted her head with an oversized grin, stressing the skin on her cheeks. "Of course! You're fucking glorious!" Dust heard the words leave her mouth, but it was almost like listening to someone else. A younger version of herself that wished she'd grown close to Paul years ago. She was realizing she had a crush on this girl since they were kids. And it felt both irritating and freeing to begin opening up. "Aw, Destiny, that's so sweet. But, okay, let's get to the bottom of this. Sorry." Paul set her paintbrush down and slowly strolled around the taller girl, stopping when she arrived directly behind her. Dust felt the warmth from the painter's breath on her neck and ear as he craned forward and whispered, "Maybe you can recognize beauty when you see it. But that doesn't mean very much. Here's the real test. Have you ever thought about kissing me? Paul moved back and remained standing behind the still-seated blonde. An eyebrow cocked, waiting for an answer. Dan slightly shivered from the delightful vibration of her friend's voice. She looked over her shoulder and could see Paul and her pupils waiting for an answer. Does right now count? Because, well, the biker began to spin around. Paul raised her leg and caught the sword before it could spin too far, lining the girls in front of one another. Dust looked upward and noticed a confident smirk on her friend's face, but wasn't feeling too confident herself. The thought of Paul's lips on hers made her heart leap in her chest like a puppy jumping up and down, begging to be released from its chains. Well, Des, the painter sighed, the verdict is in. It looks like you're guilty of liking girls. The teasing tone in her voice was apparent. You called me Des. That's something I'm trying out. Is that okay? If I remember correctly, you were going by Des at the end of sophomore year in high school. But we've known each other, 15 years now? Plus, Destiny is such a pretty name. Yeah, I prefer Des. Why didn't you correct me before? Paul placed her hands on her hips and lowered her leg. The girl on the third hesitated for a moment, eyes alternating from Paul's left to her right, then back again. Seemingly even briefly stared at the painter's nose for a moment. I'm not sure. May I just like hearing you say my name? Yep, we have an answer. Definitely girls. That's good. I like girls too. Paul reached up and gracefully touched the red and dusted hair with her fingertips, stripping it from the blonde's eyes. I love your red streak. The painter abruptly stretched her arms out, placing two hands on each of her shoulders. As she inched herself forward, Dust realized their faces were in line. Less than a foot separated them. An enormous wave of energy rippled through her body, but the biker resisted the urge to run away. Her gazes were landing more on her friend's mouth than her eyes, and she wanted nothing more than to feel the girl's lips against her own. Her palms were sweating and her heart was pounding. Everything else seemed to slow to a crawl. Just as she was about to close her eyes and extend her lips, Paul twisted Des back around to face the easel. We have to finish this painting before we get too tired. The moonette zipped around to the other side of the campus, repositioning herself on the floor. What the fuck just happened? Des wondered to herself, low enough to be out of earshot. Confusion rippled the red streak at Bond's mind, and she wondered if she should have moved forward more quickly for a kiss. She felt a little embarrassed, not knowing if she should have pulled the trigger or not. She noticed her eyes watering, and realized she hadn't taken a proper breath of air in several moments. Thus concentrated on breathing, then opened her jacket and wiped her face. Turn a little bit to your left, Des, Paul requested, clearly focused again on her artwork. The blonde obligated and angled her shoulders and torso in the proper direction. There! That's perfect! It does feel kind of weird not saying your whole name, but I get it, I'm sure. So, Des mumbled, trying to get her mind off of her missed opportunity. Don't you have an ex-boyfriend? I thought I heard something about him in the background when we were on the phone earlier. Yeah. The painter deadpanned, rolling her eyes. He's a dickhead. She continued to paint as he spoke. Want to hear the whole story? Well, yeah. You wanted us to get to know each other better, right? Tell me about your ass. Then you can answer your own damn question. Are you more into boys or girls? That soft, playfully barred grin towards her friend. That sounds fair. Pulled through her lip as he focused on her painting, stopping each time she spoke. I answered the last trash first. It's girls, easily, which leads into the ex-boyfriend conversation. So, he was the first person I was really into since high school. You might remember me dating around back then, but I fell for Brock when I first started here. We were exclusive for almost a year. He's from Georgia. Georgia. Was on a football scholarship. His southern charm is what did me in. I think the attention he gave me when I didn't really know anybody else flattered me. Or something like that. At first, I found it sweet that he wanted to be around me every second of every day. It was like I found someone who loved me so much he never wanted to be apart. He even neglected the optional football workouts that the rest of his teammates participated in. And when I go back to track parties, he always showed up and got really mad at any guy I talked to. He became outrageously possessive, so we had a serious chat. In the heat of the argument, I told him he should worry more about the girls I talked to than the guys. He didn't know I was bi until then, but it struck him up. Even though I made it clear none of that mattered, and I never cheat, he broke up with me. Say it was all my fault. He sucked, Des. I cried a lot that week in the nest. Des instantly listened as Paul described the situations he'd gone through at Brock. Potiphar already hated the guy, listening to how controlling and manipulative he was towards her. She deserved everything, and he only dragged her down. The bike would fill her fists clenched. After about a week of no contact, the artist continued, he stood up at a track meet with flowers and tickets to a concert. I agreed to hang out when we went to the concert together. We had a great time, honestly, but I think it was just the idea of being alone that made me gravitate back towards him. The next morning, I felt kind of dumb. I knew he wasn't right for me in the long run, and I needed to spread my wings. We had another serious chat, and I told him that college was the right time to be so serious. Plus, we needed to focus on our sports and the schoolwork. He was angry, to say the least. Got drunk as hell and caused trouble on a couple of occasions. He even got into a bad fight outside of the dining hall one night last semester and lost his scholarship because he was carrying a loaded weapon. He was arrested and kicked out of school, too. Holy shit! Des responded, yeah. He has some unchecked anger issues, no doubt. Just like his abusive dad. Anyway, he was released and went back to Georgia for a couple of months. I found out he was back in town last week. And he got a job at a bar downtown. Last night he called me, but I didn't pick up. This afternoon, he called a mutual friend who was here earlier, saying he was headed to my apartment. Chris told me not to come, that I didn't want him here. Shit. Des grumbled. Fuck that guy. Do you think he'd come anyway? Not really. He's a bastard. But he never hurt me. At least not physically. Paul took a large gulp of her breakfast, finishing the last bit. She grasped the wine bottle and filled her glass. Des followed, turning hers up white and swallowing down several mouthfuls until her glass was empty as well. Paul giggled, then runs over to supply a refill. I am so sorry, Paul. Makes me wish I was around then, and maybe I could have somehow stopped this from happening. That's nice, Des. But I believe everything happens for a reason. Even though it was shitty, mine and Brock's relationship has helped prepare me for whatever comes next. You know? Speaking of things happening for a reason, in a way, it's because of him that you're even in here right now. Huh? How is that possible? We weren't scheduled to process today. I've been planning on having a small gathering this evening for about a week. Was going to only focus on that today. After he called me last night, I felt I needed to be around my team. So we decided to have a non-mandatory workout this afternoon. If we hadn't, you and me may never have reconnected. So, it's fate. Or maybe... The barn interrupted. You're not about to say it's destiny, are you? Paul cut her eyes left and right. She raised both eyebrows and nodded. The girls stared and laughed, and the painter got back to work. They started talking about high school and reminiscing about things that happened when they were younger. It was interesting for both to hear different perspectives about the same events. It seemed they had been in the same general vicinity many more times than they had even realized. An hour chit-chat flew by when Paul finally announced, It's finished! Come take a look! Dust got up in stress. She didn't realize how long she's been sitting, but her legs and back felt stiff. Afterwards, she walked around to the other side of the easel to see what Paul had come up with. And I will show off the photo as the thumbnail and as you see it as a whole video. So, you guys will see it. Holy shit! This was astonished. This is... me? It's like looking into a mirror, Paul. No fucking joke. You're amazing. Thank you. Paul curtsed as he giggled. I don't like to toot my own horn often, but it's beautiful. She took a step forward and was now standing face to face with Des again. Noses almost touching to the center, but not as beautiful as the real thing. She placed an open palm on the biker's cheek, gently cinching her body downward. As the shorter girl tiptoed and craned forward, Duff felt her eyes widening. This was it. She was about to finally feel the warmth of Paul's soft lips against hers. The painting, the ceiling, the walls, and the entire room burned from existence until all that was remaining were two girls. The distance narrowing between them, butterflies danced in her stomach as if collectively celebrating some glorious, once-in-a-lifetime event. Death slowly allowed her eyelids to fall as she inhaled Paul's breath, mixing with her own, just as the lips began to bless, and a buffer knock at the door broke the girls from the moment. Fuck! Paul first for a sudden jump, moving her away from Des. No! Des whimpered, tears filling her eyes. Through the door, a muffled voice yelled inside, Open on up, Pooey Paul! We need to fucking talk! His words were short, but could be clearly understood. Shit! That's Brock! That we left the painting room, hastily making her way towards the apartment door. Des quickly followed behind, blotting the moisture from her eyes. Go away, Brock! I don't want to see you! Not now! Not ever again! Paul was checking to make sure the door was locked. As soon as he ensured that it was secured, she gazed through the people. You're drunk! Go home and sober up! Who are you in there? There fucking? I kill him! Or her! Shit! Who knows with you anymore? He turned to the knob with heavy fits. Tess! Paul turned to speak. I don't know if it's safe with you in here. You might want to hide if he somehow gets in. I know how he made it past Walsalla. I'll call her now. She took out his phone and began calling. I'm not hiding, Paul. You're the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. No fucking way is some creep gonna scare me. I can handle him. Paul yelled into the phone, quickly relaying the information about the situation to someone on the other end. Just assumed it was the RA her friend spoke to, but couldn't be sure. All of a sudden, the knocks became much louder with a louder impact. Shit! He's trying to kick it in! Tess, please hide! No! I'm not leaving you alone with a drunk lunatic. Going on instinct and pull a Jarian, Tess turned and grabbed a bail bottle from the smaller table beside the couch. She held her by the neck and unlocked the door. As soon as she twisted the knob to open it, Brock trembled inside as he was in mid-thrust to attempt another kick. His momentum carried him forward with his head lowered in a bowing position. Just as he was about to fall forward, Des thrust her arm in an uppercut, the bottom of the bottle landing straight in the middle of the drunk's forehead, knocking him off his feet. God damn! Paul called out as the intruder landed on his back with a purple bottle shape indistant in the top center of his face. Don't you fucking mess with her! Des uttered through crisp teeth as he stood over Brock's unconscious body like a prize fighter who had just won the bout. Lost Soul and a campus guard ran in, flipped the sword to his stomach, and locked cuffs around his wrists behind his back. Get back, you two! She hollered, arm extended, pushing Dustin Paul behind her. Brock was knocked out and laying on his face, but thankfully still breathing. A gun was laying to his side, which also kicked away from his waist. While they waited for backup, the RA spoke with both girls. She mentioned knowing about the situation with Brock from being around the student athletes for the past few years. She sat Dustin Paul down on the couch so they could decompose and to get an official statement for the university. As they sat, the brunette casually staked her hand down in between the pail, placing her open palm flat in the center of Dustin's. The biker responded by interlocking her fingers with the girl, creating a sense of oneness among them. Local police took over when they arrived, suffocating the weapon and taking the drunk outside, placing him in the back of a patrol car. He was awake and aware as they hauled him off. Like all saw her before her, a police officer needed a statement for the liquors as well. The cop agreed it was an obvious case of self-defense, and it didn't take much time before leaving the apartment. The girls walked the final officer to the door and saw her out. Finally, about an hour and a half since the incident, everyone had departed, and the girls found themselves alone together again. They sat back down on the couch and held each other's hand. Des, I gotta be honest with you. That was the most badass thing I ever seen. You are amazing, and I'm so sorry about dragging you into my baggage. Paul gazed away like she was too embarrassed to face Des directly. Paul, look at me. She waited for the girl to look at her in the eyes. We all have baggage, and you and me can handle it together. As for mine, you find it much less psycho as boyfriendly. Des giggled, waiting for Paul to laugh along with her. The athlete cooked a half-smile that was obviously aligned with exhaustion. It had been a difficult day for both of them, but Des knew the emotional stain had sort of gone into her friend. She thought about the almost kiss and truly wanted to try again. But now was clearly not the time. What Paul needed was support, not romance, and Dust was ready to be there for her regardless of the situation. Paul had laid her head on Dust's shoulder and the two sat cuddled in each other's embrace for several minutes. After some time, Paul shifted around. Des, please don't take this the wrong way, but I need to be alone for a little while. I think. It would be great if you could lay down with me in my bed, but tonight doesn't feel like the right moment, you know. I'd really like you to stay with me tonight, though. Will you stay? Please? Yeah, of course. Whatever you need, Paul. I hope you make the couch super comfortable. I've fallen asleep here before, and it does as comfy as my bed. Well, that's not true, but it's close. The girls received some linen and a spare pillow. They tucked the edges of seeds into the cushion and placed a large blanket on top. Oh shit, Des! I almost forgot. You can take a shower if you like, in the bathroom. The linen closet has freshly folded towels and rugs. She pointed towards the full-size bathroom adjacent to the kitchen and near the hallway. I can barely hold my eyes open. I think I will wash up. Thanks, Paul. Good night, silly girl. The sleepy girl placed a hand on Dust's cheek, gently pulling her face closer. She gently pressed her lips against the other cheek, then moved away and smiled. She turned around and disappeared into her room, leaving the door cracked open behind her. Dust sighed as she watched her new favorite person walk away and turn in for the evening. She proceeded to take a quick shower, then tucked herself in on the couch. Before falling asleep, she checked her phone. No missed calls or messages. Hoping no news meant good news. She laid it face down on the coffee table and turned over to a more pleasant sleepy position. As her eyes grew heavy and she finally stopped finding the closer, her thoughts shifted from realistic to outstruck. She felt herself drifting to sleep. The next moment, she heard a hushed voice in the outer distance. Des, look at me. Just a whisper at first. Des! It was growing louder. Des, we need to talk. The biker fought through the weightlessness of her slumber and finally lifted her head. As awareness showed back in. Who's there? Her voice cracked out uncertainly. It's me! I had to reach you immediately, and the dream space is the only way now. The bard opened her eyes and noticed she was staring at the face of her mom's old friend and watcher of the universe. Shit, Weisel? Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA 2000 again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, you know, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!